Welcome back to a new video. In this series, we journey through ancient myth, uncovering the monsters that haunt the edges of stories. The ones who don't wait in caves, but come to you. Some strike with teeth, some with claws, and some with beauty. This video is about Echidna and Typhon. They are the parents of monsters like Cerberus, Chimera, and Hydra. Griffin and ichthyosaurs. Rarely in narrative myths, but appear in art and mythology as symbols or guards. And Empusa, harpies and sirens. Encountered by travelers or used in cautionary tales, often moralistic. They are part of the mythical world building and family trees. The first one we focus on are Echidna and Typhon, the primordial terrors of Greek mythology. They were not just monsters. They were the origin of monsters, the parents of chaos. Echidna and Typhon symbolize primal fear, the power beyond control. Long before Olympus rose, before heroes took their first breath, there were forces too vast, too wild, to be tamed. Echidna, half woman, half serpent, was a creature of the deep earth, a guardian of darkness. Typhon, a storm giant so vast his head brushed the stars, was chaos incarnate. Their union brought forth the Hydra, Cerberus, Chimera, and more. They are not just creatures. They are the source, fear given form. They also symbolize legacy of monsters, the bloodline of terror. From this union came nightmares. The multi-headed Hydra, the lion-goat snake Chimera, and Cerberus, the hound of Hades. Each one became a test for heroes. But none stood alone. They were born of a legacy, a mythic bloodline. Typhon and Echidna weren't slain in a single tale. They lived on through their spawn. They echo in every monster's roar. They are the mother and father of dread. Origins in nature. Typhon was not a god. He was a force. 100 dragon heads. Wings that darken the sky. Fire in his breath. Venom in his veins. Some say Gaia created him to punish Zeus. Others say he was born of Tartarus itself. Echidna, by contrast, was the stillness before the strike. A beautiful face, a serpentine body, and a hunger that birthed beasts. Together, they were the monstrous balance to divine order. The other half of the mythic scale. The war with Olympus. When Typhon rose, Olympus shook. The gods scattered. Only Zeus stood firm. Their battle shattered mountains, lit skies with lightning and flame. Typhon tore the sinews from Zeus's hands and left him broken. But with the help of Hermes, Zeus recovered and struck back. A final thunderbolt crushed the storm giant, buried him deep. But the earth still rumbles, and the sky still remembers. Depictions and legacy. In ancient art, Typhon is a storm of serpents, a tornado with eyes and wrath. Echidna is more subtle, often half hidden, half revealed, a shadowed queen of the underworld. In modern tales, their influence is everywhere. The monstrous matriarch, the storm-born chaos. They are the template for every final boss. Every ancient evil sealed away, but never truly gone. They remind us that beneath the world we know, the old powers wait. And remember, not every monster is meant to be slain. Some are meant to be feared. Because Typhon and Echidna teach us that evil has roots, that darkness has a dynasty, and that some threats don't end. They multiply. So next time you face a monster, ask yourself, are you fighting the beast, or just its child? The next ones are two hybrid creatures you may not know as well as you think. The griffin, the skyborn sentinel, and the ichthyosaurs, the forgotten lords of the sea. They are not beasts of chaos. They are beings of purpose. And their myth reveals a truth, that the divine does not always strike. Sometimes it watches. Griffins, the winged guardians of gold. They did not devour. They did not destroy. They defended. With the body of a lion and the wings and head of an eagle, griffins were nature's elite rulers of land and sky. They guarded the gold of the gods, buried in Scythian mountains, far from mortal reach. They are not mere beasts. They are symbols of vigilance, of divine protection, of power that does not chase glory, but preserves it. Ichthyocentaurs, sea's forgotten messengers. They did not conquer. They did not rule. They appeared, then vanished. With the upper body of a man, the front legs of a horse, and a coiling fish tail. The ichthyocentaurs are hybrid even among hybrids. Few myths mention them. But when they do, it is at a moment of passage. They rise from the sea. Not to attack, but to carry Aphrodite to shore. Not to challenge, but to accompany. They are symbols of transition, of transformation, of harmony between body, water, and soul. Shared symbolism, hybrids of order, not chaos. Both griffin and ichthyocentaur break the rules of nature. But not to threaten. To protect. They are the inversion of the chimera. Not chaos stitched together, but purpose blended. The griffin stands atop cliffs, eyes on the horizon, fangs bared not for prey, but for thieves. The ichthyocentaurs glide beneath waves, guiding gods, not waging war. One rules the heights, one the depths, sky and sea. But both exist at myth's edge, where the mortal eye rarely sees. Griffin legacy, majesty preserved. In art and heraldry, the griffin became a royal symbol. Noble, fierce, watchful. They adorn temples and thrones, marking sacred ground. In fantasy today, they remain protectors, flying beasts of wisdom and strength. But in their origins, they were the guardians of something far greater than gold. Sanctity itself. Ichthyocentaur legacy, the vanishing image. Unlike griffins, the ichthyocentaurs faded. Rare in text, rare in art, but their few depictions are vivid. Triton-like beings with wings and flowing manes. Blowing conch shells, guiding sea gods across stormy waters. They are glimpses of an older, stranger mythology, one where sea was mystery, and what rose from it was divine. And remember, not every myth is about terror. Not every monster is an enemy. Some are sentinels. Some are guides. And some, like the griffin and the ichthyocentaurs, exist not to challenge mortals, but to remind them that the world is full of thresholds, between land and sky, between sea and soul. And sometimes the most powerful beings are the ones that simply watch. And the last ones are Empusa, harpies, and sirens. Three monstrous women of Greek mythology. They are not villains in armor. They are the nightmare behind the smile. The whisper in the wind. The last thing you hear, before it's too late. Empusa, the fiery seductress of the night. She walks alone. But you never walk past her. A creature of Hecate, goddess of witchcraft. Empusa appears as a beautiful woman, until you look closer. One leg of bronze. One of a donkey or flame. Eyes that burn. A hunger not just for blood, but for souls. She seduces travelers, then drains their life. In later myths, she becomes a kind of Greek boogie woman, a shapeshifter sent to terrify the wicked. But make no mistake, she is not a lesson. She is a warning. That desire can kill, and beauty can burn. Empusa symbolizes temptation with consequences, the fear of the unknowable woman, nightmares born from lust and magic. Harpies, the winged thieves of the storm. You don't see them coming. You just see what's gone. Harpies are part woman, part bird, with talons that shred and wings that shriek. They were once mere wind spirits, but myth made them monstrous. sent by the gods to punish, torment, and defile. They don't kill. They ruin. When King Phineus angered Zeus, the harpies were his curse. Every meal he tried to eat, they snatched it away. Fouled it. Left him starving. Not because he was evil, but because he spoke truth the gods wanted hidden. Harpies symbolize retribution without justice, corruption of sustenance, the scream of divine punishment. In later myth, they become the wind that howls during a storm, a cry for revenge carried through the air. They don't want to kill you. They want to ruin your life and leave you wishing they had. Sirens, the song that ends the journey. They don't chase you. They wait. On rocky shores, beneath crashing waves, sirens sing. They are not mermaids. They are not gentle. In early myths, they are bird-bodied, human-headed creatures. Once handmaidens of Persephone. Twisted by grief and punishment. Their music calls to the deepest part of you. The ache. The longing. The regret. And once you hear it, you forget everything else. Even how to live. Sirens symbolize the power of self-destruction, the allure of the past, the fatal nature of beauty and art. Odysseus only survived them by being tied to his mast, begging to be set free, while his men rode with wax-filled ears. Because the sirens don't drown you. You drown yourself. 3 faces of fear, 1 ancient warning. Empusa. Harpies. Sirens. They are not monsters of brute force. They do not charge into battle. They do not challenge heroes to duels. They wait. They lure. They haunt. Each one speaks to a different fear. Desire that devours. Retribution without mercy. Longing that destroys. They were created by gods, cursed by fate or born from grief. But their message is the same. Not every danger screams. Some sing. Some whisper. Some smile. And remember, not all monsters hide in shadows. Some come in daylight. Some wear a mask. And some look like exactly what you want. Until it's far too late. Thank you so much for watching. If there's another myth, monster, or legend you want next, leave it in the comments. Until next time.